don't want to lose.
You lost Monday? You lost Wednesday?
Sipple, weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the happy hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico hanging out with you guys as usual. Rico, what's up?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going fantabulous.
Anything exciting going on in your life?
Going to Omaha.
We are going to Omaha.
Yeah, we
It's
are.
not in the same vehicle.
No.
But we're going to the same
Nick has
destination.
class.
Yeah. We're going to the same destination.
Also, I don't want you riding in my car.
Oh, I'd be driving. I'm one of those people that has to drive everywhere.
You have to drive?
I have to drive everywhere.
I don't have to drive. I prefer to drive, but I don't have to.
It's not
If
even,
I'm
it's
not
even
driving-
a trust thing. It's like it just gives me something to do.
If I'm not driving, I will fall asleep. I don't care if it's whatever time of day. If I had just woken up, I will fall asleep.
Yeah, I think I need something to do all the time. You know, it is what it is. But
I feel like a Game Boy or something.
I used to. I think I still have it. A Game Boy Advance. I used to have.
SP?
No, just a Game Boy Advance. And
Rookie.
I remember playing Paperboy, where the
Paper boy, all about my paper boy.
the goal of the game was to basically dodge all these barricades and speed bumps in the road and just deliver paper. I mean, that was games back in the day, right? It was basic as that.
I played Pokemon.
I never got into the whole Pokemon thing. Did you ever get into the Pokemon Go thing?
Yeah, for like a couple months.
I did it once, I think.
I'm pretty sure I was like whatever the blue team was. You know,
Yeah,
Articuno.
Chase B asks, Rico, have you gotten to play God of War? Yes, you have.
Yeah, I have.
So
Also, Fat Thor is the best Thor. Just letting everybody know.
I don't know. Maybe Sten's trying to make it a little bit of a tip jar here. He just goes, Atlanta is such a great show. More people need to watch it.
Paper boy.
Is that where that's
all
from?
about my paper boy. Yeah.
Never even seen it.
It's a fantastic
I haven't even
show.
heard of it.
You haven't? You need to watch
Atlanta.
it. Atlanta.
Not sure.
Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. Fantabulous.
Oh, of course.
It's amazing.
All right. Anyway, 402-464-5685, the Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today. Got plenty of stuff to talk about. We'll get some thoughts from the press conference here momentarily. But I want to play a game here with Rico.
I love games.
Because Rico loves the whole guessing game thing.
I do. I'm great at it.
And we just got an email about 20 minutes ago from right now.
Oh, I haven't checked my email.
That's okay. Nebraska graduation success rate.
Yeah, Mark, you're right.
Nebraska graduation success rate remains at an all-time high of 95%.
Awesome.
So I introduced this thought to Mark actually while you guys were still on the air in the water cooler. If Nebraska's 5-7, they need a couple fillers. Hey, bowl game? Because it goes to APR. Nebraska remains at an all-time high of 95% graduation rate. There's a chance Nebraska might play in the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh, I wish it was
in New York.
I wish it was still a Gasparilla Bowl.
Gasparilla?
Gasparilla sounds so much cooler. I don't even know what Gasparilla is.
Okay, Thomas and Lincoln continues to come after me, and I don't know what I did to Thomas and Lincoln.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He says, Nick never got into Pokemon. That's because you're a loser. Pokemon, you got to catch them all.
It's catch 'em all.
Catch 'em
There is
all.
no TH.
Okay, well, so
Thomas,
you can.
Thomas.
I was gonna say you can defend me that the text says them.
It does say them.
Okay.
It's Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Shout out to Ash Ketchum for finally realizing his dream of becoming a Pokemon master.
What?
Ash Ketchum.
Okay.
He's the main character.
Gotcha. Anyway,
he finally won. He won it all.
That's
Shout out to Pikachu for defeating a Charizard.
That is Pikachu's the only Pokemon character that I would know.
Only Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, they're pocket monsters. That's what it's short. That's
I think
it's short for pocket monster.
we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so Thomas Lincoln says newsflash.
No,
Ash is actually dead.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Is he dead?
It's a whole theory that he actually died like right at the beginning, and all of this is a dream. That Pokemon aren't real, and that he's just imagining all of this because he's dead.
Okay. So we actually get a question here, and I like this. Somebody wants to know our opinion. Let's get to that here in a second because I want to do this with you, Rico. Here. So Nebraska ranks 3rd in the Big Ten in Big Ten all student athlete graduation success rates. Okay.
Mhm.
I want you to try to guess where other programs stack up in terms of graduation success rate. The first one should not be hard.
In the Big Ten?
In the Big Ten.
Northwestern.
Yep. Can you name who's second? They are on Nebraska's football schedule.
On Nebraska, Michigan.
Yep. Nice work. All right, so Northwestern, Michigan, Nebraska.
Mhm.
Can you name who's last?
Last?
Who is the worst school in the Big Ten in terms of all student athlete graduation rate?
Wisconsin.
No. They are in the Big Ten East.
Michigan State.
No. There's actually a 3-way tie for last. 2 Big Ten West teams, 1 Big Ten East.
No, I'm not going. Penn State.
No, Maryland, which I was shocked about. I was surprised to hear Maryland.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about their logo is sophisticated.
I was going to say, does the logo scream not graduation?
The little line below on the logo stickers that we
flag?
have. The flag makes it look a little more sophisticated.
Oh, yeah. You would think everyone from Maryland graduates with honors.
Bingo, with the little tassels and everything around their
Everything.
ropes,
Yeah.
around their gowns. The other two, Purdue and Iowa.
Losers.
I know. So
I can see Purdue.
There's
I
that-
thought Wisconsin because they drink a lot. I don't think they go
Wisconsin
to class
is
very much.
Wisconsin has 91%.
Mm,
So all right,
losers.
that's all we needed. Okay, let's go ahead and
Hey, I got second and third.
first and second.
That's all that matters.
I was pretty
Yeah,
impressed
first,
with that.
that's all that matters.
I was impressed by that.
That's
All right.
easy.
So unnamed texter. Sorry, Rico. I thought you'd have more fun with that.
Northwestern and Michigan.
402-464-5685. All right. So unnamed texter says this. Want to hear your guys' take on this. If you bring in a new guy, I think there is no way that you can keep Mickey Joseph on staff as much as we might like it. The dynamic would not be ideal. You have a situation where the new guy struggles out of the gate. Fans will just be calling for Mickey to take over again. I think you either have to make Mickey the head coach or just bring in a whole new staff.
Now, I believed that at first.
I did too.
I have changed my tune because if Mickey were to have had success as the head coach of Nebraska, if he wasn't, what is he, 2-4 right now? 2-3?
Oh gosh, he took
Lost to
over
Oklahoma,
Okay,
2 straight
so
wins.
Oklahoma, so 1-2 or 1-1,
2-1,
2-2,
2-3.
he lost to
Purdue.
2-4.
Yeah, 2-4. So he's 2-4 right now. If he wins his last two, he'll get to 4-4, whatever. But if he would have had success as the interim head coach, yes, 2-4.
Okay.
Then I would believe that, because then fans would be clamoring like, well, remember what happened when he took over? He won this many games, and the team was doing this and blah blah blah, whatever. But right now, sitting at 2-4, unless he wins these next two, then I might be on that train as again. But right now, as it stands, I don't think that whoever takes over needs to get rid of Mickey, just because how important he is to, I guess, important to the dynamic of just the players currently on the roster and the recruits coming in. I understand. I've said it before. You don't want to, take a head coach or make Mickey the head coach based in fear of losing recruits and losing players. But if he's not going to be the head coach, I think it's a priority that you keep him on because of that exact reason.
I'm wondering, so I see both sides of the coin here. To you, Texter, I understand it because, think about it the same way as the quarterback's position, right? The most important or the most popular player on a losing team is the backup quarterback normally. And you could say the same for a head coach, especially when you have a situation like you do here at Nebraska, where if next year they brought in ex-coach and Mickey Joseph was the associate head coach and still on staff and still recruiting his butt off and things like that. You're going to have that more where it might be uncomfortable as a fan, and it might also be uncomfortable in a coach, if you're the head coach, or not an ideal situation. Two things here. I think depending on whoever they bring in, if it's somebody that's already has ties with Mickey Joseph, I think it could be less worrisome that might be a problem. Also, I think to a certain extent, some tension would be good. They're like tension and friction,
knowing that there's somebody behind you.
There's guys that are ready to step in if you're not ready to do your job. And like you have that accountability aspect. You have that. Now you can cross a line and kind of be, I don't know, undermining. You don't want an assistant coach to undermine the program, but I don't think you'd have that worry. Actually, no, you wouldn't. You would not have that worry with Mickey Joseph that he's trying to sabotage the program.
Not that kind of guy.
As an assistant coach. Not even in the same ballpark. I am not concerned about that.
He is all about the players first, and he said so. He's about helping. He's about helping the kids reach their potential and reach their goals. And I believe it was his brother who said that, Vance Joseph, who said, I've called him about multiple openings in the NFL, and he's turned them all down because he wants to help the kids. That's what he wants to do. So there's no way he would go out of his way to undermine whoever, if it's not him, gets the job as the head coach of the University of Nebraska. He'd do everything in his power to help that person to be successful, because that person's success will trickle down to the coaches, it'll trickle down to the players, and then the players will experience all that happiness that Mickey's trying to spread, all the positivity.
Yeah, and I think so. Here, I guess I don't. It's so interesting, and I keep wanting to say frustrating, but that's not the right word I want to use. I should use. We have no clue how this thing's going to play out. That's the most confusing part about all this is we have no clue. You can believe all the message boards, you can believe all the Twitter accounts, whatever. Like Rico and I,
nobody knows,
and a lot, like 99.9% of the media through the conversations. Because I'll be honest, I've talked to other people about this that have way more and way deeper connections than I do. None of us have any clue what's going on or how this is going to play out. Maybe obviously we know that certain guys have been in conversations with Trev Alberts. But once again,
Trev told us himself.
Trev told us that there's going to be a lot of people in conversation. Now,
if you hear a name, he's probably done it.
But we're getting towards the latter part of the process. So that's why maybe there's more, you read a little deeper into some of the names.
More angst in the situation that isn't happening.
So I think here's the thing. I would have confidence in however Nebraska operates or whatever direction Nebraska decides to go. Mickey Joseph will be a part of this thing going forward. Like I would, if I had to put percentages on it in confidence of where if Mickey Joseph was going to be on a part of this thing going forward, whether he's the head coach or whether he's not, I would put it probably 85-15 in terms of confidence that he's going to be here and not. Now here's the deal.
Things change.
Number one. Number two, that doesn't mean that he's going to be here for years, because you cannot continue to sit here and expect guys to not take opportunities if they're presented to him. And I think it would be safe to say that after having an interim head coaching stint under his belt and continuing to put in the groundwork and the legwork of high-level recruiting classes and just high performance on the field, eventually your name's going to get called. Eventually, that's just the way the business works. But I would put confidence in that Mickey Joseph is going to be a part of this thing going forward. And I think Husker fans should be excited about that.
You should be excited about keeping.
Are we? I
don't know what's happening. He grabbed the mic.
Mark pulled the microphone. What's up?
Oh, hey, sorry. I was half paying attention. I just wanted to add a little insight that just came out. The World Herald had a separate little side interview with Mickey Joseph today where he said something to the effect of he hasn't interviewed for the head coaching job yet.
Okay.
Or just hasn't. I don't know
what
hasn't interviewed for it. However, he's open to staying. He wants to stay depending on the job, the roles, the person, and all those other factors. But he's open to the idea of staying. So he's at least got that on the record via an interview with the World Herald at this point.
Awesome.
90%.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. I do have confidence in now obviously the little weight that my word might have on these airwaves, I have a good amount of confidence. And here's the deal: what I would look into that as is saying Mickey Joseph will stay. And the only way that he won't be a part of this thing going forward is if the head coach decides that he doesn't want Mickey to be a part of this thing going forward, which I might add would set Nebraska a step back right from the get-go.
One step forward, two steps
back.
Back.
Can we talk? Let's go ahead. We have a couple minutes left in this segment.
The importance of Mickey Joseph outside.
Yeah, outside of head coach.
Yeah,
because here's the deal. We understand the importance and his tie to some of the players in this roster and this community now. Mm-hmm. I think
the amount of support that the local high school coaches and the local high school players have shown,
but not
for
even
the
just
university,
to Mickey, also the guys that are tied to Mickey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the university, for the assistant coaches, just the coaching staff on this football team, like you see, you've said it multiple times. You see Mickey Joseph, you see Brian Applewhite. You get players talking about all these head coaches, visiting their schools more often than they were before. Like it's crazy the impact that a guy who knows what it takes in recruiting has on the rest of his staff. He knows what it takes. He knows how to connect with the kids, how to get the kids to buy into whatever he's selling. And if a new coach were to come in here and decide that they don't want one of the best recruiters, one of the best wide receiver coaches in the nation on their staff, that's weird. And I don't think that would be the best option for whoever ends up taking over, just because of the connections, like we said, the connections he has, not only with his recruits out of the state, but especially with the recruits and the coaches in the state.
Relationships. 100%. I have confidence saying this, that he is one of the more valuable coaches or valuable assistant coaches in the country.
Yeah.
Because the way that Mickey Joseph does his business is, and we actually heard this, he was talking about Justin Jefferson today. And we have that quote, I believe, in here, Rico, about Justin Jefferson. But either way, it was one of those things about how if he would have listened to people in recruiting, right, and just done what the lazy thing is to do, he would have never recruited Justin Jefferson. And that speaks volumes to the kind of coach that Mickey Joseph is and how he does it. And here's another thing. There is another complaint that I've heard as Rico's laptop just dropped. Oh, dude, that hurts me. That hurts me because I cracked my screen when it dropped like a month and a half ago, and I had to get it fixed. Is it all good?
We're good.
Whew. Oh, I apologize. That startled me. I couldn't say anything about it, Rico.
There you go.
Anyway, so here's another thing I will add. There's little to no doubt in my mind that Nebraska would also open up the checkbook for assistants.
Definitely.
And I could see something going forward where Mickey Joseph has a higher salary than the offense coordinator. As associate head coach. Now it depends. There's a couple other things that you have to shake out. There's a couple other things that have to shake out. And what I mean that by is, depending on the kind of head coach you get, how much do they want to be involved in recruiting? Do they want to be the main voice in recruiting, or are they wanting to just be the closer, sort of the opener and the closer? How much do they? Because if you have it where you have Mickey Joseph be head of recruiter, you can create so many titles.
How long is his little
piece of paper,
his
title card,
the thing on the door? What's that called? I don't know what it's called.
Anyway, so you have, I mean, think about it. You could have passing game coordinator, wide receivers coach, assistant head coach, recruiting coordinator, and anything else that continue to build his salary.
That dude.
Yeah, just that guy. And you could have that.
So I agree with you on that. And, that's definitely going to get a bump in his salary. And I think just to keep him around, you're going to have to bump up his salary. But higher pay than the offensive coordinator, I don't see that happening. But it'll rival it. It'll be right up there. He's going to have to get a boatload of money for the amount of work that is going to be required of him if they end up, I mean, he pretty much is the recruiting coordinator.
So here's a little bit of a quote from Tom Chattel in the World Herald article. Says this: Mickey Joseph. This is what he tweeted out, and this will be the wrap up on this segment. Mickey Joseph has not spoken with Trev Alberts about the coaching job. I asked him if he would be open to serve on the next coach's staff. He said, quote, I would sit down and talk with the family, talk to Trev and that head coach, and find out what my role would be. I would love to stay. There you go. So that's from Mickey Joseph in the
man himself.
All right, so let's go and take a break. When we come back, we'll hear a couple quotes from Mickey Joseph in his press conference today.
We also have cupcakes.
That's right. We also have Sweet Things by Marcy. A couple interesting things stuck out to me from the press conference, so I want to get to that for sure. We might have you guys in the crossover do the Sweet Things by Marcy.
Wow, you don't want cupcakes?
I don't need cupcakes.
They're red velvet and chocolate.
Okay, I will do red velvet cupcakes. So Abe says this: you say he wants to stay? Or he may be offered a head coaching job somewhere.
He's not. He said he wants to stay.
No, Mickey said he wants to stay.
But I mean, if he is offered a head coaching job somewhere else,
you cannot blame him.
I mean, yeah, that's a heck of a step up.
Somebody says Mickey for governor. I'm pretty sure somebody already won.
I think that race is over.
That already happened. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a break.
Maybe next
time. We'll do Sweet Things by Marcy and get some press conference reaction coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Heartland Diamond from Sartor Heyman Jewelers was born from an unrelenting desire for more sparkle. Designed to shine as bright as your love, the difference between the Heartland and the traditional cut is clearly visible with the naked eye. By adding 32 additional facets, our skilled craftsmen have created a masterpiece, a diamond that truly reflects your passion and desire. Stop in and see the brilliance of the Heartland Diamond for yourself, exclusively at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thursday from the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional, fast-paced, with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Whitley Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
Chances are you haven't started thinking about holiday shopping yet. Chances are holidays will be much less stressful if you could do all of that shopping in one place. Chances are you can have all that shopping done today with the help of Beatrice Bakery. Pick up Grandma's fruitcakes in sizes all the way up to 5 pounds, and you can sit back and relax this year. Order now at BeatriceBakery.com or buy them here in Lincoln at the From Nebraska gift shop at 8th and Q. Beatrice Bakery, welcome to a world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies at times. It will be breezy and cold with a high of only 36. The northwest wind at around 15 to 20. We may see a few snow showers drift through late this evening into tonight with a low of 18. Tomorrow staying cold with a high of only 33. I'm meteorologist right for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We stand on the shoulders of women who care us.
Women who have their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySave.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, so we get this on the text line, and this is a well thought out text. I appreciate you guys' input. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. We bring in Nate for this segment as well. What's up, Nate?
What up, what up?
Okay, so Jared from Quiznos says this.
Oh, Red Velvet.
Guys, Mickey seems great, and I hope he does stay, but I've been around it long enough that when we find an ace recruiter, that we find an ace recruiter on every staff, but yet another one always seems to come along after one exits. So if Mickey is not here next year, it's not the end of the world, and they could still find just as good or better recruiters than Mickey. I don't exactly see a bevy of top 100 players coming from Mickey, so why is it a no-brainer that he's an elite level recruiter? I just think it's easy for us to convince ourselves we have one of the best, when in reality, you have no stinking clue who isn't a better recruiter than him. I would say this, there's a lot of, now Mickey's 54 years old, and there's groundwork and a body of work that's been put in to that thought process of Mickey being an elite recruiter. It's not that he's also only an elite recruiter, he's an elite developer. And when you talk about that from a wide receiver coach position, there are two guys in the entire country that people thoroughly know about. And this is a national conversation. Number one is Mickey Joseph. Maybe not Nebraska Mickey Joseph, but LSU Mickey Joseph. Number two is Brian Hartline at Ohio State. When you talk about national names from head coaches, from wide receiver coaches specifically, it's those two guys. Now, the reason that and there's a very good chance here, Jared, and once again, thanks for the well thought out comment, because that's really interesting to think about it that way, that he is so well known only because of that 2019 team and his wide receiver core that featured Jamar Chase. Thaddeus Moss was a tight end, but probably was used as a wide receiver a little bit more because he was just that athletic. Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall. And you also had guys on the front end giving him the ball like Joe Burrow. And you won a national title in the conversation for one of the best teams to ever play college football.
And those guys all speak glowingly.
Bingo.
I think you guys are missing the point here. Who are the best two players on Nebraska's offense this season? outside of Anthony Grant.
The two people that he brought in.
The two people that Mickey Joseph brought in.
Yeah.
Mickey Joseph hasn't even been here a year. We're talking about him recruiting at Nebraska. One, he hasn't been here a year, so how can you expect him to recruit at a high level?
And also, he's the interim head coach.
Bingo. That was the next thing I was going to say is, how can you recruit if you're recruiting a kid and you can't tell him convincingly, I will be the next head coach in Nebraska?
You
can't tell him that.
Well, here's one interesting thing about it.
It's hard to recruit with no
assurance that you're going to be here.
No assurance of a future.
Well, I think
how do you recruit that?
I think it's
And he
okay to
still
say
is.
this as well. I think it's okay to say this as well. For the first, let's see, he got here in January. So for the first 9 months that he was here, he did not have free reign at recruiting, and he still did what he did.
The two best players on your offense are from Mickey Joseph.
I have no problem saying that he was. There were times that Mickey Joseph was handcuffed in recruiting in his first 9 months since September before September 11th. He was handcuffed. And here's the thing, and that talks about maybe guys that decommit, guys that Nebraska is able to offer, guys that Nebraska talks to, guys that Nebraska brought in.
Guys that Nebraska is in on.
Like, here's the deal. And I understand at the end of the day, Mickey Joseph at that time wasn't the head coach, but you got to talk about a body of work and history and recent history. And what have you done for me lately? Mickey Joseph has been able to do a lot. Think about it this way. Prior to Mickey Joseph, who was Nebraska's best recruiter? Travis Fisher, probably on staff.
Ryan
Held. But Ryan Held. So, okay, yeah, maybe
it was
Ryan
probably
Held.
those two.
Let's talk about Travis Fisher, because there was times in a moment that he was being courted by Georgia, by a couple of SEC teams, and he
was that guy.
He ended up getting a raise and stayed in Nebraska. Anyway, think about it this way. I mean, Travis Fisher's been able to get guys to campus, but how have they panned out? Like, unfortunately, that Florida to Nebraska connection, we could go through the entire list of defensive backs or guys that have left before even seeing the field, before they've even started practice. Henry Gray left. Marcus Fleming transferred out. Keyshawn Green didn't even practice once. I mean, there's this whole list of guys that didn't even see the practice field because it just didn't work out. So you have to also kind of look at the conversion rate between getting the recruits here and actually getting them on the practice field, developing them, keeping them here to play on Saturdays. Now, what's also interesting, think back to a couple years ago when Keith Williams. Now, I understand Keith Williams had a lot of off the field stuff going on, but think about one of the more interesting thing about Keith Williams.
It's another great
worked out with
wide receiver
Devontae
coach.
Adams, works out with Tyreek Hill. Those guys go to Keith Williams specifically in the offseason.
They go to him. They've been in Lincoln. They're practicing with him.
Let me simplify this.
Thank you.
And we'll just go and
please.
No, but let's think about this in Nebraska.
I don't think
terms.
it's simple though.
I think you can look at it that way though, because let me ask you this: if Casey Thompson and Trey Palmer aren't on Nebraska's roster, where's Nebraska at right now? One win?
No idea.
Seriously. Without Casey Thompson and Trey Palmer, the two guys that Mickey Joseph, the reason they are here is for Mickey Joseph. Where's Nebraska at?
Well, I think okay. So
one win?
No, you have to think.
I don't even know if they have that.
Nate,
it depends on how the offense looks.
No,
because you're not building it around
if
them.
We're going to say
the offense,
who's Nebraska's quarterback?
It would be Logan Smithers.
No, it would not, because they would get a different quarterback out of the portal. If Mickey Joseph wasn't
about
here,
that?
Yes,
It might have been Chubba.
Yes,
it might have been Chubba.
Okay, it might have been
Chubba was your 4-star.
No. Or if Mickey Joseph never gets here and they hire a new wide receivers coach or a new offensive coordinator that does not work, like
that's what I'm saying.
You're going all the way back to January to where maybe they get a Max Johnson, maybe they get a Jalen Daniels from Arizona State, maybe you end up getting like there's so many.
It would be Chubba.
But the
not
offense
if Mark
would look
Whipple's
different.
here.
The offense would have been built around Chubba. It
wouldn't
have been a Casey Thompson offense. It would have been a whoever the quarterback is offense.
Yeah,
and that it would have been a completely different. I don't know. You don't know.
How would we know? How would we know?
Really? We didn't know what this offense would look like.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't know.
What if it's not so pass heavy?
Really?
Nate, if Mark Whipple's not here, what does this offense look like?
Mark Whipple would still be. I'm saying just it like literally all you're taking out is Mickey Joseph out of the equation. Taking Mickey Joseph out of the equation, all the rest is consistent. All the rest is constant.
Okay, so you get
because then
you're not getting Chubba.
You would have Trey.
Chubba is here because of Whipple.
Right, and Whipple's still here. I'm saying everything is consistent.
Okay, so you
outside of
either
Mickey
Joseph. So Casey Thompson's not coming to Nebraska.
Casey Thompson and Trey Palmer are not coming to Nebraska.
Casey Thompson, Trey are not coming to Nebraska. Washington,
Marcus
there as well.
Washington is
Marcus Washington.
Okay, so you go get another receiver from the portal. Maybe not Trey Palmer, but you might you get somebody else. Like it's not like
Maybe
you just
still
take
have
away.
Isaiah.
Maybe you just take. It's not like you take away those guys. And Nebraska, it's like, Oliver Martin, you're number one now.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Not the case.
That's not what I'm saying. But you also have to look at what we were talking about, possibly a second round, third round receiver, and Casey Thompson. We've seen how the offense looks without Casey Thompson.
Yes,
very clearly. All I'm saying is all else is consistent.
So here's the deal, though.
And I'm saying I think that Mickey Joseph handpicking those guys, which was his recruiting. We're talking about recruiting right here. You handpick them and you take them out of the equation. I think Nebraska has one win. Nebraska goes 1-11.
I think
I don't know.
I think things play out so differently.
Look at how important Casey and Trey were against Rutgers and Indiana.
But again,
your
offense
Jalen Daniels
doesn't
could
be just as important.
Your offense doesn't look
or
this
Keaton
way.
Slovis could be just as important. Or
Rico, I don't really care what the offense looks like. We've seen Chubba Purdy. The writing is on the wall.
What if
Chubba Purdy's been
what if
hurt?
Chubba Purdy's the backup?
Mark Whipple says he doesn't play quarterbacks hurt.
Well, he did.
Did he? Mark Whipple says I don't play quarterbacks
what this
hurt.
conversation is.
I'm saying that
confused what
we
it
need
is.
to. I'm saying let's simplify. In Texter is against recruiting, and I'm saying you have to look at Mickey's track record at LSU. Yes, but that's also a different program. It's the SEC. I'd say it's easier to recruit at LSU. I'm talking about specifically what he has done at Nebraska.
Yes.
He has brought in the two best players on your offense.
Okay.
You take those offensive players out, all else being
But
consistent,
you can't-
Nebraska's a 1-win football.
No. You can't say that unless we know who they would put in.
And I'm saying in this sense that I think it would have been Chubba Purdy because he's your 4-star out of the transfer portal.
Okay.
Young kid. Mark Whipple loves him. Scott Frost trusted him to bring him in.
But although they said that they wanted to bring in two quarterbacks from the transfer portal all along,
they did.
So who's their second guy that they bring in?
But that's the thing is like, I don't
We
know.
don't know.
But
Bingo.
I'm telling
That's
you,
all
it
I
wouldn't
need.
be Casey Thompson.
Okay, no,
that's fine. I don't think it would be.
Hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
I disagree.
So, okay,
I think there were better options.
So they don't have Casey Thompson, they don't have Trey Palmer, they don't have Mickey Joseph. Sure, whatever. They bring in Mark Whipple, they bring in Chubba Purdy, they bring in whatever other quarterback, they bring in whatever other wide receivers. This offense is not this offense is not a chuck it deep to your speedy wide receiver Trey Palmer with a strong arm Casey Thompson because you don't hold on. Because you don't have those two people. Maybe they go to more of a running with Anthony Grant, who has proved what he can do. Maybe they go to a
offensive line.
Hold on, Nate. Hold on. I let you talk. Hold on. You've seen what they've done with Chubba Purdy when he has been in. Short passes, behind the line of scrimmage, slants, curls, comebacks, all that stuff. They're not chucking it deep. They're doing that. I don't know what this offense would look like without Casey or Trey or Mickey Joseph because the offense that they've been running is a Casey Thompson, Trey Palmer offense. It hasn't been a Chubba Purdy, Logan Smothers offense. They're switching it around now. And there was one drive, two drives. The drive that Chubba Purdy got hurt, he looked really good. He looked really good against Michigan on that one drive. And if that is the type of offense that they're running all season, they have more than one win.
Rico, why do you think the offense is tailored towards Casey Thompson?
Because they're your two best
they're
players.
The best players on the team.
Exactly. If you don't have them, you tailor it to your other players.
I was gonna say, how does the offense get tailored to Jackson Dart if he goes to Nebraska instead of Ole Miss?
Okay, whoa.
Well, no, because he was here. He visited.
Okay, Nick.
So
okay.
Nate, I'm saying that
he
you
visited,
cannot.
So we're just inserting Jackson Dart.
Okay, so Jackson Dart, Keaton Slovis, you can insert any name, and the offense changes. Like I just don't.
I still think that Nebraska got the best quarterback that they could in the transfer portal, and I think that was Casey Thompson.
Okay.
So
do you not agree with that?
So what if they? I don't think it's as simple as just saying, "Yep, if you take away Casey Thompson and Trey Palmer, this offense just is completely garbage, and you lose in one game."
I'm saying in terms of recruiting and looking what Mickey Joseph has done, I'm saying if we simplify it to those terms, that's the way that you can look at it. Because you guys could talk about
There's
LSU
so many
all
other
you want.
variables,
You can talk about LSU,
Nate,
but it's
recruiting at LSU is so different than recruiting at Nebraska.
It is.
Don't act like
Agree.
recruiting at Nebraska is, he gets these guys to LSU, they're going to come to Nebraska. I think that's
the track.
not smart as well
because it's
either.
the track record of that he's taken unranked guys at LSU, which is a much more top-notch program than Nebraska is right now.
You don't have to leave the state.
Yes, you don't have to leave the region.
I
agree
with you.
No, wait,
I agree with that.
So you take unranked guys, multiple, and turn them into NFL caliber players. That's not recruiting at LSU versus recruiting at Nebraska, because that same unranked player is available for LSU and Nebraska. It doesn't. That's the coach. That's the coach developing. That's not LSU versus Nebraska. That is the coach. So that's why we're talking about the body of work, is because you take Justin Jefferson, who is ranked in the top, I think he was like 2,100th in the country overall, little to no stars, had FCS offers, and LSU comes in. That's what it's called, body of work and not being lazy.
And I agree with you. The texter brought up recruiting.
And that's exactly what we're talking about.
You're talking about developing now.
Evaluation, recruiting, developing is all categorized into one category.
Texter brought up recruiting. I'm talking about recruiting. I agree with you.
Let's go ahead.
Developing does include Mickey Joseph.
I got to get out of here. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back on the happy hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you want. The happy hour next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yo, it's the captain, Rashawn Jackson. Join me this Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Superior for Husker Sports Talk and, most importantly, wings. That's Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Superior, the official sponsor of the captain. Order wings ahead at wingstop.com. See you there.
At Bourbon Street as we get you ready for Saturday's game. Old School with Jay Foreman and DP goes from 4 to 6. Stop by for some of the best drinks and Cajun food in town at Bourbon Street at 8th and Q.
Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School, third from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday from the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
Chances are you haven't started thinking about holiday shopping yet. Chances are your holidays will be much less stressful if you could do all of that shopping in one place. Chances are you can have all that shopping done today with the help of Beatrice Bakery. Pick up Grandma's fruitcakes in sizes all the way up to 5 pounds, and you can sit back and relax this year. Order now at BeatriceBakery.com or buy them here in Lincoln at the From Nebraska gift shop at 8th and Q. Beatrice Bakery, welcome to our world of yum.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis, and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's postgame show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. It's time for cupcakes. We've had our arguments. We've had our shouting
Good
matches.
conversation.
We've had our disagreements. But now it's time for cupcakes. Shout out to Marcy. Sweet Things by Marcy. Always delivering. Today we've got red velvet and chocolate. And they look absolutely exquisite. We can eat cupcakes and still talk about the recruiting if you guys want to. Again, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line, and on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Happy Hour again, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, Rico. Well, I have a couple things. One, we can go long because Strick's remote today, snowing a little bit, so he didn't want to make the trip over. And 2, I actually met Marcy.
Did you?
I did. I did an interview for Veterans Day, and
She's a veteran.
She is a veteran, so I got to talk to her, and she actually lived in Virginia for a while.
Really? You smell that?
I do smell that.
I don't know what that is.
Something burning?
Kind of smells like it.
Mark! Mark!
Is it my laptop?
It might be your laptop. Is it?
It's not my laptop.
Yeah, because it's super cold.
Mark, we need you if you're listening.
Mark!
You should be listening. Whatever.
Regardless,
we'll
I did.
try to ignore it.
I know. That'll be fine. If you hear a sprinkler or an alarm go off, I'm assuming there's probably not a sprinkler.
You talk about your interview with Marcy.
But yeah, so for Veterans Day, I interviewed Marcy, and it was great. And now we have Mark. We're kind of worried.
Do you smell that?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Is that outside?
I turned the heat on for the first time this year.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was freezing up there. I didn't want to do it because it blows hot air in here, and you guys are gonna get hot.
No, you could have
told us.
Yeah, I was worried for a second.
Me and Rico look at each other and we're like,
I was like,
is there a fire?
I was gonna look under here. I was like, one of the wires must have frayed or something.
It's just all the dust that's been in the system.
Okay, I was like, I don't know. Is there a fire? Somewhere? Is Mark not coming because he's knocked out? Is there a fire in his office?
Controlled fire within the furnace. It's okay.
There's a fire in his office. He's knocked out. We got to go save him. But we're on air. We don't know. We're gonna be trapped in here because that's up there. There's only one way out. You got to let us know these things. I was worried.
It happens every year.
I was worried for
Every
you.
year. How many years have you worked here?
5.
It's happened 5 times.
I've never smelled this.
You should be here on the first heat of the year.
I don't think I am.
The first heat of the year.
The first heat.
Well, it's supposed to get a little bit warmer next week, Mark, so you might have to shut it off.
Yeah. I'll shut it off in like 10 minutes because this whole place will heat up.
Oh,
like,
really?
It gets really. It's a
probably
small
the
space.
equipment. I would
It's
assume.
a very fickle system, right? Like very fragile. But
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Happy to help.
I was worried.
Screaming into the radio.
Mark.
All right, that's okay. But yeah, so I met Marcy. It was great, and she's a veteran, and she lived in Virginia.
Fantastic.
And
from
she knows,
Alabama.
yes, she is. She's a big Alabama fan.
Yes, she is.
And she knows Phildarius Payne, Virginia Tech, small world.
Wow.
Yeah.
My guy Feldarius.
Yeah, small world.
Hope he gets healthy and tears it up for the Hokies next year.
But after we do this, Rico, we can get, because again, we can go a little bit longer. We can do the station ID, all that good stuff. Because
I don't want to go too long because I need to get out of here at a decent time.
Wait, you got to play your game?
No, I got to run to Omaha.
What are you doing in Omaha?
Top 20 matchup. Nebraska and Creighton. women's basketball.
Really?
Number 20 Creighton, number 22 Nebraska.
Really?
Today.
That's tonight?
Yeah, they play.
For some reason, I thought that was tomorrow night.
Nope.
No, the guys
tonight.
play tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's tonight. They play at 6, but I'm gonna go see some family for a little bit and then head over. And also,
Nice.
I need to find out where I'm parking and get my media credentials and all that. So, fun stuff.
That is fun stuff. I will be in bed.
Me and Nick are gonna be there. You guys can follow along at Radio Rico AC at Nick_Sainert.
Nice.
And we'll give you our updates. It'll be my first time covering a basketball game.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to do basketball when I was in college, when I was covering for ESPN Blacksburg.
It is so,
and Virginia Tech was filthy, so it was tough because, as you know, Rico, being a media member, you can't cheer for the team.
Yep.
And this is when Virginia Tech was filthy, and I remember it was my junior year. They went to the Sweet 16, and I didn't end up going during the tournament specifically because I knew I wanted to be a fan. So I was like, you know what, someone else can go.
Somebody else can do this. So somebody on the text line asks, "Is it on TV?" See, that's the problem, and that a lot of people are having issue with. So not only is it not on TV, it'll be on. I think it's going to be streamed on Flow Sports. You can also listen on Huskers Radio Network. But it's not being played at the CHI Health Center. It's being played at the DJ Sokol Arena.
The what?
Exactly. It's where I think it's where they normally play like the women's basketball games, but it's a top 20 matchup, and they're not playing at CHI. And I guess Sokol doesn't seat very many people.
Well, how many is it?
So I don't know exactly the capacity, but I do know that there were tickets being sold for like $98.
Oh my!
Again, a top 20 matchup. But whatever,
You assume it'd be on like Big Ten Network. Or
you would think so, but nope.
That's Strick on the call.
Flow Sports at the Huskers Radio Network, but it's Marcy time. It's Marcy time. We got to talk about these delicious
Why did I think
cupcakes.
the game was tomorrow?
I don't know, because you're a weirdo.
I know.
First up, you know what we're doing first? We're doing the red velvet first.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna have a new favorite.
I've had
love
her
red velvet.
I've had her red
so
velvet
much.
cake that she makes,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
delicious. And if this is anything like them, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be in another stratosphere.
I just love
So the red velvet cupcakes by Sweet Things by Marcy: flour, sugar, eggs, vegetable oil, baking soda, baking powder, vinegar, red food coloring, cocoa, buttermilk, powdered sugar, cream cheese, butter, vanilla,
Oh my gosh.
salt. Yeah, it's delicious, isn't it? You good?
That's some of the best. I will tell you, red velvet. I might be a little biased, but I'm not a little biased because I will say red velvet is my favorite cake. It's not even close.
Really?
But that's incredible. That's big time.
I gotta show the people.
What was your wedding cake?
You shouldn't ask me that question.
Is
I
your wife listening?
I don't remember. Yeah, she's listening. I
All
don't
right.
remember.
What was your guys' cake? That, you know what? I probably shouldn't have put you on the spot. I should have asked you a different.
No, it's okay. She'll tell me and she'll call me an idiot and whatever. But it was good. I know that. I
Was it
didn't
red velvet?
I didn't. It was not red velvet. I didn't eat a
No.
lot of it. We didn't. So during our wedding, we didn't eat a lot because we were all over like thanking people and talking to people. We had like our food and we had like 2 minutes to sit down and eat. So neither one of us really ate anything. And
I've heard a
you
lot
know,
of
we did
couples
like the
that
cake slice and that, but we didn't get. I think we had cupcakes. Didn't get those either.
Was this in Kearney?
No, we had it up in O'Neill.
Oh, nice.
Up near her hometown.
Nice.
It was beautiful. It was a fantastic event.
Was it outside?
No, it was not.
I
It
guess
was
you can't-
inside, and then
You
it
don't have too many outside
and then it
weddings in
started raining,
Nebraska.
but it was fine. They say like rain on your wedding day is a good luck. So
Is it?
I believe so. I could be wrong.
I've never been married. I wouldn't know.
One day, now I gotta try this red velvet cupcake.
I think what makes this so good.
Oh, pretty good.
I don't want to talk my mouth full, but I'm going to do it anyways.
That icing is otherworldly.
Bingo. The red velvet is great. The icing takes it to another level. Oh my gosh.
Marcy does not miss.
You said she has a cake of this too?
Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
Is it similar to the cupcake?
Yes. Sweet
Wow.
Things by Marcy.
That's awesome.
Go to sweetthingsbymarcy.com to put in
Oh
your
my
order.
gosh.
Sweet Things by Marcy at gmail.com if you want to order via email. And it's, oh my goodness, I just can't get over this right now. It's so good. There are time limits to order to get your order in by the holidays. I believe it's the 18th of November, the 18th of December to get your orders in so you will be able to have them by the holidays, by Thanksgiving, by Christmas
That
time.
is nice to know because I will be ordering.
I'm going to try this chocolate one.
All right, so this is chocolate on chocolate.
Chocolate.
Is that right?
Yeah, chocolate on chocolate.
Oh, it is.
I got to show the people the beautiful piping that she does. Yeah, I watch baking shows. Look at that piping, people. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
See this one? I'm on the flip side. I think the red velvet, the icing took the cake. See what I did there? I think on this one, the cake takes the cake. The icing is great, but the cake is really good. It's rich.
I love the cake on this one. The icing is still my favorite part of it. It's so smooth. And it's that extra bite of chocolate coming from the icing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, otherworldly. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna hit the out music because I want to eat all this and I don't want to eat it on air.
We're not
and
talking
just
about this
disgust
anymore.
everybody.
We're not talking about this anymore. The Mickey Joseph.
You can talk about Mickey Joseph with Strick.
I will settle it with this. I will talk about Strick. I was saying we can do hypotheticals all day long, which is what we did. The only thing that was consistent through all of this, Mickey Joseph coming here and the two best players on offense being here because of him. That's the only thing. There's no hypothetical in that. That is facts.
I don't disagree, but your whole they would only have one win. That's a hypothetical.
I agree.
But the recruiting thing, you wouldn't have your two best players. You would have Anthony Grant, who's arguably second, third best player.
I'd agree.
So earlier in the season he was your best player, but that's neither here nor there. We'll find out. Look, 2 more weeks of the season. That's gonna do it for the happy hour. On the block, up next. Adios.
Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School.